Okay, this is the next section. The first thing I'd like you to do is you need to get into groups of 3. I'll allow 2s, definitely no 4s. We need space in case anybody comes back late from being away. There's a bit of a hint here on some of the work going on. Everyone needs to be involved in doing notes for posture. That's at the top one. People who have doing research into eyes probably will have enough time for breathing. They're fairly short things to consider for those 2 areas. Hearing is surprising. There's a lot of people miss bits out. And then quite a big one, so maybe the person who's fairly quick at researching things, is trips, falls and the environment. These last 4 sections, I'd like you to separate them out between yourselves. When you come to put things on the notes, please put your name next to the piece you've done the research for. Do have a look at each other's during the week. So towards the end of the week, if you think the notes somebody has produced, so this is your homework, if your note's not good enough on an area, you don't have to change those notes, but go and make sure that you're aware of the issues. So everybody has to do posture, so we're going to do the posture video now. But you can make sure you should have actually already got yourselves into groups by now and have a copy of the document that you're sharing. So next bit. All right, posture. There are a number of postures people take when they're working. There's 4 examples up there. There's another one that I'm probably going to see a lot of you doing at the moment. People who are on laptops, leaning forward, trying to look down on a screen that's below them and hunch their shoulders over. And my question is, looking at them, do you think that they're in a good position or bad? What sort of position is what you think you do most? And what things are helping to make a good posture? So I'll give you a moment to think. Now, those of you working on laptops, there is a limit to what you can do. I don't like working on laptops for that reason. I did a lesson yesterday with a laptop on a pile of books so that the camera was in eye line and I was looking up. It was better for my posture, better for my pronunciation, and it was better for me engaging with people eye to eye rather than me looking down on them or showing them what my beard looks like as it gets close to my nose. So, I hope everybody, some people will say, if you're honest, probably like that. I hope no one put their feet up on the table. If you're sitting on a couch, definitely not a good idea. If you're doing that one, I don't know who I'm talking to because you're probably asleep or dead. But you should be using a posture as close to this as you can. There is a little problem with laptops, but they're not the ideal work environment if you can help not having them. If you can have a separate screen and the monitor lifted, that would help your postures. Also to help with engagement, if you can put your camera towards the top is normally useful anyway. So let's look at what makes good posture. So let's just look through the risks. Quick information on the risks. If you don't have good posture, you affect just about every part of your body. You'll get your neck will get stiff if you're not sitting correctly. Your shoulders get tired and it hurts. Elbows can even get hurt, and forearms particularly. I'm particularly bad for resting my arms on the table, but I shouldn't. You should actually have something lifting your wrists up so that the wrists are straight. Sitting in chairs, I need to sit in a chair quite heavily because I'm quite heavy. I sit in a chair quite carefully, so I do try to do this vertical line as much as possible so the chair takes the weight. Circulatory problems you can have. Your lower leg's not doing very much, so if it's taking weight as well, then you can actually cause yourself problems with your circulation. So you've got a number. There's a very specific term for wrist injuries. I'm going to leave that open for people who are researching this, because you're supposed to research to try and find out what the common ailment is for wrists and why it's important you use it. So let's go through the good posture. So good posture has your head, shoulders, and bum in line. It helps keep your spine reasonably straight. It's not bolt straight. Your spine is used to a little curve at the top of the shoulders and a small curve as it gets down towards your bum. What you're aiming for with this is the weight of your head and most of your torso goes straight into the chair and not along your legs. And if you stretch out or move, you're trying to actually use forces through your legs as well, which will make them tired. So head, shoulders and bum in line and fairly close by design to the stand for the chair. You want the weight to go through there. There are some people who use standing desks. They're all right if you're constantly active. But if you are sitting for if you're going to be in one place for a long time, your legs will get tired, your lower back gets tired because it's not being supported properly. So standing desks are really for people who are always on the go. People who are working in factories and things will use a standing desk. There used to be a thing about using bouncy balls instead of the chair. The bouncy balls encourage a good posture for your back, but they don't support your back. And if you're working for a long period of time, that can be important. Although I know people who swear by using a bouncy ball to sit up and down, they get a little bit of exercise and it sorts out a couple of other problems we have. Your shoulders should be comfortable and rested. That means the desk height should be good enough that your arm can come down comfortably to create an angle so your forearm is parallel to the floor. And your wrist should also be straight. If your wrist forces your hand up like this so you can type, you will cause problems with the tendons and the blood vessels in the wrist. And that is a thing that I said need to look for. I'll give you carpal. The word carpal is to do with the bones. So think about carpal. There's a thing that's related to your wrists. Your fingers should naturally fall onto the keys from where your wrists are. So we've done shoulders, forearms, parallel. Your legs should be parallel to the bottom as well, and most of the seat should be covered. Not quite all of it. You've got tendons and vessels around the back here, and if your chair digs into them, what can happen is that you'll cut off some circulation, or you can cause some tendon problems. So if your legs are being forced by the chair down, you need some cushions to help push you forward a little bit, because this is quite important. After that, the lower leg goes almost at right angles down towards the floor, where your foot is actually flat on the floor. This whole posture at the bottom here is to help your circulation. Your feet have blood vessels in that help pump the blood back to your heart, so your heart's not overstraining. And this posture frees up as much of the flow as possible. If your shoulders, neck, things are getting tired, what can you do about it? Well, the easiest one is take a break, get up, move around. I wouldn't recommend sitting in front of a computer screen for more than 50 minutes without a break. So this is why we've extended the gaps at the end of the lessons. Last one is for your neck. If your neck, eyes, and can cause all of these things. If you feel any problems with these, they can actually cause tiredness and major headaches. But the position of your head should be in line with the top of your screen. It means that your head is mildly tilted so that you're looking down. This distance of 20 to 30 inches is it's a little bit under a metre from the screen. Now, depending on the size of your screen, that might vary. People doing eyesight sections, there's bits that come up in there. Your eyes should comfortably, without straining, be able to look up and down, left and right on your screen. That's the better guide on that now. But so that the font is set so that you can read. But eyes should be about the same height as where the top of the monitor is. And ideally, that's where you put your camera, because unless you've got a fancy setup where the camera can go in the middle of your screen, it allows the camera to be reasonably good looking at your face. So that's most of your part. Yeah, so that's most of the stuff to do with posture. There are bits and pieces to add to it. Please add them to your notes. This is everybody. After this video, everybody can then go and do the research in the areas that their team have asked them to. So everyone should be on different videos after this one. That's the end of that video.